How's it going, guys? Better late than never. Although I will not keep this behind or keep this down. I really am not looking forward to recapping the Cincinnati Bengals game. I'm really not. But I will go over that. I will go over that later on this week. Hope to get that done tonight, later on tonight. So yeah, but anyway, this is the comment video for those of you who are coming across this and are thinking, all right, why are you doing a comment video now? It's because I was originally going to film it after I got home from last night. I went out of town this weekend, and I got home at about 11:30, and I was thinking, no, it's not time for YouTube. It's time to go to bed. So that's why I'm a little behind with this Seattle Seahawks vlog project, but don't worry, I will get caught up and we will get back on a regular schedule. We'll not be going out of town next weekend, so we'll be doing once I get the preview for the Carolina Panthers game, we'll be back on schedule. All right, so again, not really looking forward to recapping the Cincinnati Bengals game against the Seahawks this last weekend, but enough about me. It's time to talk about you. Yes. Some of you have never seen these before. This is a comment video where it gives you the opportunity to decide where you want the conversation to go. You can leave a funny joke, you can leave a funny story, you can give some analysis. We don't have the comments this week are actually a little longer, which is fine by me. So yeah, let's get started because I post this on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Still have yet to have a Twitter response. Oh, that's too bad. All right, so we will start with Facebook, where we have one comment, and I do have to put this in context. So I posted when I previewed the Seattle Seahawks Cincinnati Bengals preview video. I put down we are now completing the trio of playing the Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Well, Bengals, if you want to be technical, since Bengal is a form of a tiger. Then I said on to week 3. And then my good buddy Adam Bird from the Shoreline Concert Band wanted to put this in context of the Wizard of Oz. He just plainly says, "Oh my." Yes, probably should have put that in, Adam. Thank you very much for adding that on. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to playing and performing with you with the Shoreline Concert Band. So thank you very much. All right, so that will do it for Facebook. Lots of stuff coming from YouTube. Again, these comments are a little longer. We have some new viewers, which is great, and we will start with a username by the name of Joey Sanchez. So Joey writes from the recap of the Detroit Lions Seattle Seahawks game, which basically was a rant about officiating and poor calls and how it just always seems that when the Seahawks play in prime time, that there's always the refs become the story. So Joey writes, it may have been a missed call, but it seems like the Tuck rule all over again. It's an obscure rule that nobody even seemed to know about until afterwards. I think the Fail Mary was worse because, in my opinion, it was, in my opinion, more obvious no call. With this one, not only was it not well known, but him being Bobby Wagner. Shoot, was it Bobby Wagner? I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Wagner. With him batting didn't really affect the way the ball was going, since it was headed out of bounds either way. The rule overall is pretty dumb and should be just done away with or amended. So that's from Joey Sanchez. And then we have a follow-up from another new viewer called goes by the name of Bullet122. He says, my thoughts exactly. It wouldn't seem very fair to lose the game because of a rule that none of the players or coaches on both teams knew about. And I'll even go further for both of you. Probably no fans knew about that rule. So first off, thank you to Joey Sanchez and Bullet122 for watching and commenting. And as I said before, which I'm incredibly happy, and I will reiterate, really happy that story died right away. I know that call will probably be brought up as the season progresses. I might bring it up in my recap video between the Bengals and Seahawks, but really hoping that, I'm really happy that did not explode like the other missed calls the Seahawks have had to deal with throughout their history. Really, really happy about that. So thank you both for commenting. Next up, I have a comment from Deshaun. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know, Deshaun, it was rough. It was unbelievably hard. I was there. I was on the mountains, and I was climbing, searching, digging. I had my pick and shovel. It was cold. The wind was blowing in the Rockies, and after two attempts, I finally came home with the hockey puck from Denver. That's right. Deshaun collects hockey pucks. He is a Colorado Avalanche fan. He already knows that this is coming your way, but just want to let you know, here it is, buddy. It safely made it through security and through one plane ride, because I took 2 plane rides yesterday. But it is now landed in Seattle. The Avalanche has landed in Seattle, so I'm looking forward to giving you this hockey puck. He does have a Colorado Avalanche hockey puck, but he wanted one from Denver. So thankfully, I was able to find this. This was actually tucked away. It was not unbelievable. Like, the store I went to, they had all this Denver Bronco stuff. Okay, rightly so. Then they had a couple of Colorado stuff, and like this thing was like pushed into one of the corners on one of the bottom shelves. I mean, it was really hard. It was kind of hard to find. Then also, on a side note, Deshaun, I also have to give you this Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes, Coyotes of Phoenix, Arizona, from the desert, whatever they're called now. I need to also give you this. I got him this puck when I went to a Coyotes game in March. Okay, so Deshaun writes, after 4 games, I have realized something. Cam is not the missing piece of the Seahawks puzzle. Cam being Cam Chancellor. It is, in fact, Max Unger. Without his leadership on the O-line, they aren't doing well. When the trade for Graham was announced, I thought that it was strange. The line isn't solid right now, so that will have to change over the season. Who would have thought that trading a center could be the reason for the Hawks playing for a wild card spot rather than a 4th NFC West title and home field advantage in the playoffs? What I do find incredibly ironic, Deshaun, is that you are praising a Oregon Duck alumni. Oregon Duck alum, excuse me. So that I think is kind of odd. But you know what? I would actually go a step further. I think that the absence of Max Unger could potentially be at the same level of missing Walter Jones. Not necessarily because Walter Jones was a Hall of Famer, Max Unger is not, obviously. But when Walter Jones left the Seattle Seahawks, all of a sudden the O-line went to kaput. And we're kind of seeing a similar thing with Max Unger. I would agree with that statement. However, the trade at the time when it happened, it actually made a lot of sense. Because if you think about it, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line has always been iffy, but it's been not as iffy as it's been this year. Russell Wilson is a mobile quarterback, so the Seahawks kind of got away with it. And if you look at it, the Seahawks really needed a tight end to catch the ball, because we had one that blocks, which is great in Luke Wilson, but we really needed a dominant threat in the red zone, and we didn't have it. Look at the Super Bowl last year. It's a prime example of that last play. But good comment. Hope you enjoy your hockey pucks. All right, so the next one is Canuck, a.k.a. Jude Steves 87, a.k.a. Ian, who has a ton of aliases. So he says, at least with this call, fans and even the Seahawks are admitting that the wrong call was made, unlike the failed Mary, when everyone was blind about it since it helped their team win. Not everyone is agreeing with that call. Not everyone is agreeing that the wrong call was made, but enough for me to not be upset as I was after the failed Mary. Bad calls against my team. How about the rulings of Bountygate? Suspending Sean Payton without evidence was the worst decision ever, and why I look forward to the day Roger Goodell leaves the NFL! Exclamation point. So first off, Canuck, I want to clarify something. When I was looking at calls, I'm talking about calls on the field that affect the games. Okay? Your problem with Bountygate, which is a legitimate one, is not a call. It's a ruling. So I don't think I made that clear. I appreciate you coming up and saying, hey, these are some calls that the NFL has made against my teams because I asked for that in that little rant. But this is not a call. You're talking about a ruling, okay? There was something that happened. They figured that somebody needed to be punished. The NFL decided what to do and acted. So, in that regard, that's not a call, it's a ruling. Secondly, I'm not a Saints fan, and I can understand why you are upset that you had your coach suspended for a year. But in my opinion, I thought the ruling was correct because it was the first time ever where it was leaked to the media and to the fans of a team purposely looking out to intentionally hurt players on the other team. So something had to be done. So I actually agree with the suspension. Sean Payton knew about it. I mean, it's obvious. There might not have been any evidence, but it's obvious he knew about it. Now, that being said, though, I do agree with you with Roger Goodell. My problem with Bountygate is actually not with Bountygate. My problem with Bountygate and the rulings with Bountygate is, so you're not okay with Sean Payton, with the Saints doing this, the Saints organization doing this, yet you're perfectly fine with the New England Patriots basically getting away with anything to give them the advantage except for murder, Aaron Hernandez. That's what I have an issue with that. So I can kind of see where you're going for, but I'm going to have to agree and disagree with that statement. But again, that's just my 2 cents. I know you're a Saints fan. Okay, so that will do it for the Lions video on YouTube. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals Seattle Seahawks preview, which is actually kind of funny now since the Seahawks have lost to the Bengals. So we have Big Ben. Good to hear from you again. He wrote, we got this on the all the other chatter aside. Beast, referring to Marshawn Lynch, must play. The thought of going any more games without Lynch is the only thing that scares me moving forward. And right now that is a concern because he did not play at Cincinnati. So hopefully Thomas Rawls can play like the way he did against Cincinnati as the season progresses or until Marshawn Lynch comes back. Again, Big Ben, thank you very much. We have a new comment. It is from Mac. It's either LR or 1R. It's one of the two. But I'll say LR. So we have Mac LR21. He says, FYI, the Ravens haven't beaten the Bengals in 3 years, buddy. With the exclamation point. The Steelers and the Bengals typically split the season. Cincy has won the AFC North Division 2 or 3 out of the last 5 years. So first off, thank you for commenting, and thank you very much for the clarification. Obviously, missed that. I did not know that the Ravens had gone defeated against the Bengals. Or if that is true, I apologize. But as I said in the video, Cincinnati is still playing, is still looking to prove something. Because you may have division titles, but you still don't have a playoff win to show for it. So I do appreciate you commenting, and obviously you know more about the AFC North than I did, and that's totally fine. But thanks for watching. Keep it coming, and I'm taking it that you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan, so congratulations on the victory, and good luck throughout the rest of the season. Last up, we have Ian again. She said, I think the Bengals win this game because the Seattle offense still hasn't impressed me. Yes, the offensive line is a huge factor, but until they get it together, I can't trust the offense to put up a lot of points, especially on the road. I'm 4-0 this season predicting Seahawks games, and I think the Bengals win by 2 scores. Well, you got the 2 scores wrong, which doesn't really make a difference. Since you're 5-0 with predicting Seahawks games, can you just start picking the Seahawks just to get the Seahawks to start winning, since you seem to be right on? Because if you're predicting the future and you're doing it this well, how about you predict the Seahawks to win? I mean, that's basically all I have to say to that. I'll talk more about the Bengals game in my recap video, which will come up later on. So, all right, well, again, if you got anything to say, please feel free to comment. Keep the views coming. We'll definitely try to get off to a steady schedule since I'm back in town, and we went through this wonky schedule both because the Seahawks playing Monday night and because I went out of town. So keep it up. Thanks for watching. Go Hawks. And coming up next will unfortunately be the preview, the recap, of Cincinnati beating Seattle. So we'll see how that one goes. All right, we'll talk to you all later.